In the 4th century BCE, a young king from Macedonia, Alexander, would rise to reshape the ancient world. In just 12 years, he would build one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece through Egypt all the way to the borders of India. But who was this remarkable man, and how did he achieve the impossible? This is the story of the rise of Alexander the Great. Before we delve into Alexander's story, we must first look at his father, Philip II of Macedon. Philip was a brilliant military leader and strategist who transformed Macedonia from a relatively obscure kingdom into a dominant power in Greece. He reorganized the Macedonian army, introduced the phalanx with longer spears, and established Macedonia as a formidable force. However, Philip's greatest legacy would not be his conquests. It would be his son, Alexander. Born in 356 BCE, Alexander was groomed for greatness from a young age. Under the guidance of his father, he learned the arts of war, leadership, and diplomacy. But it wasn't just military tactics that shaped Alexander. His education was also overseen by one of the greatest philosophers of the time, Aristotle. Aristotle's teachings gave Alexander a deep appreciation for Greek culture, philosophy, and science. This education would later influence his approach to leadership and empire building, as he sought not only to conquer but to spread Greek ideas and customs. Alexander's mind was sharpened by Aristotle, but his ambition was fueled by his father's vision of a unified Greece. That vision, however, would soon fall to him. In 336 BCE, when Alexander was just 20 years old, tragedy struck. Philip II was assassinated, and Alexander, his young son, ascended the throne. But he did not inherit peace. His father's death sparked rebellions across Greece, and many doubted whether this young king could hold Macedonia's power. Alexander quickly proved himself to be his father's son. With swift and decisive action, he crushed the uprisings, securing his grip on Macedonia and Greece. Yet, Alexander's ambitions were far greater than simply ruling Greece. Alexander's eyes turned eastward toward Persia, the vast empire that had long been Greece's rival. In 334 BCE, with an army of 35,000 soldiers, Alexander set out to conquer the Persian Empire, ruled by King Darius III. At the Battle of Granicus, Alexander led his forces across the river to face the Persian army. His boldness and tactical genius resulted in a stunning victory, and it marked the beginning of his legendary campaign. On his march through Asia Minor, Alexander encountered the famous Gordian knot, a complex knot that legend said could only be undone by the future ruler of Asia. Whether by force or cleverness, Alexander cut through the knot, symbolically claiming his destiny as the master of Asia. This was more than just a legend. It was a piece of propaganda that cemented his image as a man of fate, destined for greatness. In 333 BCE, Alexander faced Darius III directly at the Battle of Issus. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Alexander's tactical brilliance once again carried the day. Darius fled the battlefield, leaving his family and treasures behind. It was a humiliating defeat for Persia and a monumental victory for Alexander. But Alexander was not just a conqueror, he was a statesman. Instead of punishing Darius' family, he treated them with honor and respect. This act of clemency showed that Alexander was not only seeking to destroy Persia, but to unite it under his rule. One of Alexander's greatest military achievements was the Siege of Tyre in 332 BCE. Tyre was a coastal city fortified by walls and surrounded by water. Undeterred, Alexander's engineers built a causeway to breach the city's defenses, capturing Tyre after a long and grueling siege. After the fall of Tyre, Alexander moved into Egypt, where he was welcomed as a liberator from Persian rule. He founded the city of Alexandria, which would later become a center of learning and culture in the ancient world. In Egypt, Alexander was proclaimed pharaoh, and he made sacrifices to the gods, further solidifying his divine status. In 331 BCE, at the Battle of Gaugamela, Alexander faced Darius III once more. This time, the Persian king was utterly defeated, and with his fall, the Persian Empire collapsed. Alexander now ruled over the vast territories of Persia. But Alexander's ambition did not stop with Persia. He pushed his army further east, into the unknown lands of India. However, this new frontier proved challenging. Though victorious in battle, such as the Battle of Hydaspes against King Porus, the campaign took a toll on his weary soldiers, who longed to return home. In 323 BCE, after years of ceaseless campaigning, Alexander returned to Babylon. His empire now stretched from Greece to Egypt and into the Indian subcontinent. Yet, at just 32 years old, Alexander would fall ill and die, leaving his empire in the hands of his generals. Though his empire fragmented after his death, Alexander's legacy endured. His conquest spread Greek culture across 3 continents, blending it with local customs and creating a new era known as the Hellenistic Age. Alexander's vision of a united world under Greek influence reshaped the ancient world and laid the foundations for future empires. In just 12 short years, Alexander the Great changed the course of history. His military genius, ambition, and vision for a united world made him one of the most influential figures in ancient history. Today, his name remains synonymous with greatness. A conqueror, a visionary, and a legend. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical deep dives. See you next time.